What is up, DTube Steam blockchain? So today I want to talk about this very interesting idea. So I saw a video on YouTube that was from GeoHot, or George Hotz, I think he's called. He basically made a video a couple of months ago that was called "What if life is a simulation?" or something like that. And it's a very engaging video. It's around 1 hour in length, and it's amazing. You have to look at it. So I want to, yeah, let's talk a little bit about that. What if life is a video game simulation? What if life is a video game simulation? That means that it's built inside of a program. You had a programmer. This idea is kind of cool in many ways, because especially now when we have this experience of seeing how good games already are. These 3D graphical games that we now can play inside of our phones, we can play it on desktop computers, we can play it on game consoles. We see how amazing they are, and that's only a couple of decades, and they're already so amazing. So that we can be in a video game simulation already, and that we're creating games in the simulation, that is very interesting. That's very, very interesting. You look at it as, okay, so let's say life is a video game simulation by some programmer. You sort of have to make it fun. You have to make it engaging. So in a way, you need to put on a big show. You need to put on a lot of drama. And in the end, you need to have some kind of cool ending. But you also need to have a lot of uncertainty, that nothing is really guaranteed. So you sort of have to design it in the most intelligent way possible, where you have the drama, you have the excitement, you have the uncertainty, you have the work, you have the failures, all of this. You need it. Maybe then this is the best game. That the best game is actually the video game simulation that humans already may be in. Because, well, how things works, if this is a video game simulation, is, I think that many people have realized that, and that is, if they actually pay attention, if they are attentive to something in this video game simulation, it sort of expands. Or maybe a door opens up so you can do something. Maybe you thought about moving to a certain location, and then it sort of opens up that finally you can do it. Or maybe you needed a little bit of value, and then you check something, or you randomly get some value from some source, and then you have the resources to do something. Now, me personally, when I look at life, it seems pretty clever designed, almost as it can be a video game. No certainties, of course, but you see how, I'm not sure how you even can explain it, but me, for example, I did not know about, let's say, blockchain in 2016 or 2017. But I knew that something is needed. Something new is needed, because this that I'm doing right now, it's cool, but it's not the next step. It's not. It's like it's some kind of stair, and you sort of felt, or I felt, that okay, I kind of peaked out in this video game level. Okay, so now we need something new, something cool, some new dimension, or something that can sort of excite you. Something needs to happen, and that's just, and then found the blockchain stuff 2018, and it seems almost as a video game that, oh, early 2018, okay, you are on the next level, right? you're on the next level. And it's almost as, and then you see other people in the world, and they seem to be playing, they also seem to be in a video game. And it seems as even if you're in the same space, maybe in the same city or something like that as with other people, you can still sort of have such a different video game experience. And even if you're doing something, let's say close to a friend, he don't really know what kind of thing you're doing or what kind of video game level you are doing or experiencing. And it's almost like everyone is in the video game to learn something, or just to grow, or maybe it just is to experience the game. But for me personally, the game never really has disappointed. It always, for me personally, if I look at it as a video game, I don't know if it's a video game, but if we take it as a concept that it's a simulation, then for me personally, it's the best simulation ever. For me personally, no game would be able then to match the simulation of life, that sort of video game simulation. And it's going to be interesting to see how it develops. It's going to be so interesting to see how it develops, because I noticed a paradigm shift, especially with the Galaxy S10 Plus that I bought maybe a week ago. So my first paradigm shift in terms of smartphones, it was 2012 when I got the Galaxy S3. It felt like a really big paradigm shift. It changed. It did change my awareness for like, whoa, technology is really leveling stuff up. But then you sort of get into some kind of habits and routines, and 2013, 2014, 2015, it did not happen that much with in the smartphone sector, and it felt kind of stagnant, right? But this 2019 was when I could feel, or actually my third paradigm shift. It was the Galaxy S10 Plus, you can say. My second was actually seeing all this blockchain technology in 2018, and I can see how the game seems almost to speed up a little bit, because from my second paradigm shift, which was the blockchain stuff, seeing how that's going to change a lot of stuff, and to my third paradigm shift, the Galaxy S10 Plus, that was only around 2 years between those. Only around 2 years. It almost seems as the game is having some kind of exponential curve. Yeah, it really seems like it has some kind of exponential curve. It probably has some minor paradigm shift also in between. Uh, so there were probably more involved. But I think that I think that many people are gonna have. I think that this idea of paradigm shifts, or different dimensional shifts, I think that that is also something that fits into the narrative of let's say of a video game simulation, because a video game simulation, it needs to have some form of new dimensions or some new sort of levels. And the way I sort of think that a lot of people look at life is that it's just one level or something like that. Because yeah, mainly it seems like most people look at life in a one dimensional, or like 2D, or barely even 2D, 1D something, because it seems like most people sort of experience stuff in one level, and that they don't they have it seems like many people haven't got it into their awareness at the moment, that there are other dimensions, there are other paradigms. And yeah, it really seems like it can be some form of video game simulation. The interesting part about that is, okay, let's say it would be like a video game simulation. Then are you the only player? Or then it would be like, okay, let's say the universe created a unique video game simulation for each person also. So even if people are in the same sort of, even if they seem to be, everyone sort of seems to be playing the same video game simulation at the same place as you on planet Earth, maybe other people, maybe they, like, let's say, yeah, you let's say you're seeing people in your sort of world, but that unique person, they have their own sort of, let's say, generated world, game world, and the version that you are interacting with, it's just a basic sort of game character that is supposed to look super realistic, while it actually, the real one is in another sort of dimension, and in that dimension he's sort of interacting with you, and in his world he is, and there you are basically just a basic character. Now that might sound super confusing, but it's kind of interesting to consider these things. I think that especially the last 2 years, more and more people are starting to wonder a little bit more. They started to wonder a little bit more, and you definitely see that on kind of content that people are creating now the last 2 years compared to just before that. And there's way more wonder right now, I would say, in most people, because they don't really have, they haven't really anything so much planned for, let's say, now, the next year, or the year after that. While just a couple of years ago, I think that people plan way more. So that's kind of interesting, right? So it's just a fun idea to play around with, like if this would be, let's say, a video game simulation, and the ideas of parallel universes that a lot of bright people have brought up. It is so interesting, like parallel universes, that there are multiple universes. That is sort of, that's a trippy idea, and that's sort of also in some ways also fit into a video game narrative, let's say. And and yeah, that's what I wanted to talk a little bit about today. I probably will be, definitely watch that video from GeoHot or George Hotz. It's around 1 hour in length, and he explains it in so engaging terms. And he also makes some other cool videos around 1 hour in length, where it's just about programming and solving different puzzles and stuff like that. This was stuff that I would love if it existed on the internet when I did programming around 2012. Or no, I did it around 2010, I think. And then there was no real infrastructure for people to make these super long videos, like 1 hour programming, a lot of cool stuff. I had to do my own videos when I had some programming videos that I did on YouTube, and I had to basically create my own content that I wanted to have for myself. But now it's like it started to become super cool because you have so many different cool programmers and game developers that they're talking about their own experiences and showcasing when they're doing stuff, and people just find it interesting. Yeah, so is this a video game simulation? I have no idea, but it's a cool game in some ways. It's a cool game. Like, if you want to have a cool game, you need some form of duality, probably. Because if you didn't, how would you, if you did not have some form of duality and some form of challenges, and that you also can overcome stuff, if everything was just, I don't know, if you did not have duality, I'm not even sure if humans would be able to exist then, because if you look at most stuff in nature, it's very duality like, a lot of things. Would they be able to exist if it wasn't for duality? Who knows? Who knows? But yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. It's just so interesting. Like, I heard basically that the whole creation is mainly just 5 elements, and 5 elements that they would be able to create so much like that we are seeing in the world. 5 elements. Then you sort of have to understand like the level of intelligence of those 5 elements must be insane, like insanely high intelligence that humans can look at those 5 elements for millions of years and they still would wonder, you know? They still wonder probably. That is probably how much intelligence that is packed in these 5 elements. Um, yeah, that's what I want to talk a little bit about today. You can pack games for sure in 5 elements, and that is kind of cool. I'm probably going to watch more videos about that topic. About like, is this a simulation? Is this a game? Because it's probably going to be more people that are starting to look into those topics, especially when video games becomes more smarter and better, and you can create your own games. You already can do that, but the tools are going to be better. You can just tell an AI to sort of create some kind of virtual game, and it does it, and it's published instantly. And you can just say what you like. Let's say maybe you see 5 games, and you just say, AI, take these 5 games, create a new game, just generate some new experience, generate a new game, and it should have this and this and this feature, remove this and this and this feature, and AI ask people questions, what they want to see in a game, and try to create 10 games to those people and read the feedback from them and then report back to me. You can see that like the possibility is the infrastructure for that, and the AI is just getting started. And then we're gonna have even more abundance in terms of games and virtual customized experience. And I talked a lot about that in other videos, and yeah, it's kind of cool. So yeah, quick video talking about that. Hopefully enjoyed. Have a great day, DTube and the Steam blockchain. Bye bye.